station has been taken over by the rebels. We must deactivate it in order to stop a Y-wing attack.
Hello, it is Ryan from Ryan Studios, and I made a first order ATST from Lego from Star Wars The Last Jedi, and I think this is looking pretty cool. I only used this reference picture that I found online for it, and I think this looks pretty close, as close as you can get to it. And I used the 2016 sets that came out for the ATST, more for the legs and part of the head, more towards the bottom. But you could see that this thing is just a monster. You can see that this is a minifigure next to the ATST. I feel that this might be a little bit overscaled, and you could tell that this red marking is for the Special Forces. So this is a Special Forces ATST, First Order ATST, if you didn't know what that really was. Because on the TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, they have the First Order TIE Fighter and the Special Forces TIE Fighter. And I'll show you the microfighter of that, and it always has that red marking on the right there. So that's that. I also built these two little canisters, which you could use for a hangar bay or something. The head can swivel 360. And you can see the back here, I used some tiles, I used these circular pieces, and some clip pieces to get the effect. And you could also see that this moves up and down. And the one thing I didn't really like about it was that it's hard to access the spring-loaded shooters due to these panels being so tight. And you can see that this is tiled up a lot, and you can see how it's only connected by one Technic pin, so it's kind of hard. And this does open up too, and there's a hatch that comes down as well, which I find to be pretty cool. You see that it has some protective shielding on that. And if you turn the head around just a little bit, you can see that it's only half of a stud showing, so it didn't look that thick. I tried it the other way, where you had these inverted, so it's like switch it around in that way. Then I also have a giant, maybe it's a concussion missile. So I have that, and you can see it has the same general design on the same side. So now, and sometimes this may fall off. It's only connected to about 4 studs, so you just clip it on like that, and it will work. So you can see the greebling, or if you will, on the front with some tiles and slopes, and these are the legs. You can see that I used a similar design to the one that I said about, the 2016 one, and you see that I used these newer slope pieces. In the back, I used some grills pieces, some Technic in the inside, and I also have some tiles, some slope pieces, and some just normal plates. You also see I have these binoculars right here just to hold this in place, because it's only connected in one stud, so it's kind of unattached a little bit, if you will. And you can see on the other side, it's basically the same thing, except this is in a different color and it's a little bit more stronger. Because instead of the binocular, since they don't have that in red, they only have that in, I believe, black, orange, and dark bluish gray. I didn't think orange would really fit, so I just added that. You could see that these legs are pretty much symmetric. So I didn't only just make the ATST head, I also made a BB-8 version of it, and I just used the set images as a reference, and I was kind of thinking it would kind of be funny because everybody doesn't like the set, because it doesn't have the actual ATST head, it just has this as the head, which no one wanted, but I just thought it'd kind of be funny. It's not that big, and it doesn't have any spring-loaded shooters, but you can just see how this was basically made. I also have a control panel and a jumper for BB-8 to come in, and you can also switch this out with that head. This also moves up and down too. Now I'll show you the inside of the head, which I'm pretty sure everybody is looking forward to. Inside the ATST head, you can see that there's not enough space and there's only room for one minifigure, and I could just easily pop this out. You can see that connection, which I was talking about with the BB-8. You see there's some lights, there's a gun holder, you can see the control panel from the 2016 ATST, and yes, I did have that one, which provided me most of my pieces. You can see that there's a cockpit for one minifigure, and I will just switch out the heads so you can see what it would look like. And that is with the BB-8 head on. It's cool, I guess. I would prefer this one a lot better, and it's good if you're trying to make a stop motion and you want to make the part with Finn versus Phasma, and then you have BB-8 destroying everything. So that's the first order ATST MOC that I made. And if you didn't see this, you could push this down and you could put someone in there. It's kind of hard to close up, but yeah, and you could just see the top there. And I couldn't use one of the bigger circular dishes. Yeah, I couldn't use this one because it's too big and it looks kind of a bit weird. So that is the first order ATST MOC, and I hope you liked the video. And remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.